Hi everyone, I'm Miss Shirley. In today's video, we're going to discuss question 1 until 10 for Perak trial paper, paper 1. So paper 1 consists of 40 objective questions and students are required to finish all 40 questions in less than 1 hour and 30 minutes. Okay, let's look at question number 1. So this question is on algebraic expression. So the question is negative 12c power 9 divided by 3c squared and then divided by 2c power 5. Okay, so do you still remember law of indices? So law of indices states that if it's a power m divided by a power n, therefore if the base is the same, so we minus the power, m minus n. Okay, so for here, I'm going to write this in the form of fraction first. So negative 12c power 9 divided by 3c squared, like that, okay? Divided by 2c power 5. So 12 and 3 we can cancel, right? So 12 divided by 3 is 4, okay? So we got negative 4. So we got negative 4, yeah? And then this is c, okay, 9 minus 2, okay? Because it's divide, so we can minus the power. 9 minus 2 is 7. And then divided by 2c5. Okay, so from here, I'm going to write in fraction form. So negative 4c7, then divided by 2c5, okay? So 4 divided by 2 is 2. So it's 2, okay? We cancel out. So here, we have negative 2, and then c. So 7 minus 5 is 2. Okay, so let's look at the options. A, B, C, D. The answer is D. Okay, students, let's look at question number 2. So this question is testing you on the formula for midpoint. Okay, so the keyword here is midpoint. So for the pair of points R 610 and S negative 28. So this is a very straightforward question for those who know the formula. So what's the formula for midpoint? Let's say the formula, this one midpoint is, let's say, is xy. Okay, so equals to x1 plus x2 over 2, comma, y1 plus y2 over 2, and then there's a big bracket, okay, because it's a coordinate. Okay, so for R and S, I'm going to treat the S as the x1, y1, and S to be x2, y2, okay? So we're going to sub inside. So x1 is 6, so 6 plus negative 12, then over 2, and then y1 is 10, y2 is 8 over 2, and then bracket, okay? So equals, so this is 6 minus 12, which is negative 6. Negative 6 divided by 2 is negative 3. And then the next one, 10 plus 8 is 18. 18 divided by 2 is 9. So negative 3, 9. Let's look at the options, A, B, C, D. The answer is D. Let's look at question number 3. Diagram 1 shows a graph of quadratic function. So this is a quadratic function. Okay, determine the equation of the axis of symmetry of the graph of the quadratic function. So where is the axis of symmetry? In the middle here, right? It's like a mirror. Okay, so which means that we need to know what is this point. What is this x value? Okay, so in order to get this x value, we need to find what is the midpoint. So this is 0, it's between 0 and here 14. Because this coordinate is 14, negative 10. Okay, so which means that 0 plus 14 divided by 2, we get 7 in the middle. Which means that this line, the whole line is the axis of symmetry. The equation is x equals to 7. Okay, let's look at the options. A, B, C, D. X equals to 7, B. Okay, that's the answer. Let's look at question number 4. Diagram 2 shows 4 number cards arranged in ascending order, means from smallest to biggest. So look at the numbers. So imagine there are four number cards, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so Q is between 5,000 something and 8,000 something. Okay, so we look at the options here. So we're going to find out what are the values for this, this, and this. Okay, so let's look at the first option, A, 7.49 times 10 power negative 4. So we move, if it's power negative 4, means we move the decimal point 4 spaces to the left. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, then the point will be here, then 0, 0, 0, 0, like that. So we get 0.000749. So this cannot be the answer, right? No, because it's not thousands in thousands values. So this is wrong. And then the next one, Okay, so the next one is 10 power negative 3. Means we move to the left 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so the point is here. So 0.00749. Okay, so 0.00749. So this is not the answer also, okay? Next one, 7.49 times 10 power 3. So to the positive power, we move 3 places to the right. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we add a 0 here. So it will be 7490. So 7,490, is it between 5,000 something and 8,000 something? Yes, right? So the answer is C. Okay? Okay, let's try D. 7.49 times 10 power 4, which means we move the decimal point 4 spaces to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we add 2 zeros. So we get 74900. So this can't be the answer also. Okay? So the answer is C. Let's look at question number 5. So this question is based on the chapter sets. Okay? Okay, it is given that set A is 2, 3, 5, 7. So these are the elements in set A. And set B, 1, 2, 4, 5, 8. So these are the elements in set B. So list all the elements of set A into set B. Okay, which means that they want you to find what are the common elements between A and B. Okay, so what are the common elements? So for set A, they have 2 and 2. Set B also have 2. And then what else? 5 and 5, right? Is there anything else? No, right? So it's 2 and 5. So set A into set B is 2, 5. So let's look at the options, A, B, C, D. The answer is A. Let's look at question number 6. So express 5 power 5 plus 4 as a number in base 5. Okay, so this number base. So 5 power 5 plus 4. So the highest power is 5. I'm going to draw 6 empty lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And because it's base 5, so this is 5 power 0, 5 power 1, 5 power 2, 5 power 3, 5 power 4, and 5 power 5. Okay, so let's look at the question. Here we have 1 5 power 5. Okay, so here will be 1. And then 4 times what? You get 4. 4 times 1, you get 4, right? So 1 is 5 power 0, right? So this is 5 power 0. So at 5 power 0, we have 4 here. And the rest we just fill up with 0. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's look at the option. Is there any answer? A, B, C, D? Yes, the answer is C. Let's look at question number 7. Diagram 3 shows a triangle. So this is a right angle triangle. So how do we know? We see a tiny square here, which means that it's a right angle triangle. Okay, segitiga sudut tepat. So whenever you see a right angle triangle, it means that it's related to 2 things, either Pythagoras theorem or trigonometry. Okay, but for this case, they give you 3 lengths, no angles given. So you're going to use Pythagoras theorem to solve this question. Okay, so what do you know about Pythagoras theorem? Do you still remember the formula? So for Pythagoras theorem, okay, let's recap a little bit, yeah? So involve right angle triangle like this, okay? So the longer side is called hypotenuse. Hypotenuse I'm going to label as C, okay? And the other 2 sides, A and B. So the formula for Pythagoras theorem is the longer side on the left, C square, equals to the other 2 shorter sides on the right, A square plus B square, okay? So for the diagram given, diagram 3, so this will be the C, this will be the A, this will be the B. Okay, I'm going to substitute this into the formula. Yeah, and then we try to express y in terms of x. So whenever they say express y, which means that your final answer must be y as a subject on the left hand side. Then the x will be on the right hand side. Okay, so let's do this. Okay, I'm going to do it on the right side. Okay. So C square equals to A square plus B square. Okay, so C square is x plus 1 whole thing square equals to A is y square plus B is x minus 2 whole thing square. And then we're going to expand the brackets. So x square plus 2 times x times 1 is 2x plus 1 square is 1. Then y square plus x square minus 2 times x is 4x, then plus negative 2 whole thing square is plus 4. Okay, and then I'm going to solve this. So x square and x square we can cancel out, okay, because x square minus x square, when we move over to the left, minus, then no more x square, right? Okay, so now we gather all the x to one side. So you see here, the like terms, 2x and negative 4x. So 2x, okay, this negative 4x, I'm going to move it to the left-hand side, so become plus 4x, okay? And then here equals to plus 4x, then y square, then minus 4, minus 1, so become plus 3. Okay, but they want y to be as a subject, so never mind, I solve this first. 2x plus 4x is 6x, right? Then plus 3, move over, so become minus 3 equals to y square. Okay, now we can swap it around so that our y will be as a subject on the left-hand side. So y square equals to 6x minus 3. Okay, but they want y only, they don't want y square. So we're going to get rid of the square, become, when you move over the square to the right-hand side, it becomes square root. So equals to square root of 6x minus 3. Okay, so this is the final answer. So let's look at the options A, B, C, D. So the answer is A. Let's look at question number 8. So this is on factorization of 4 terms. Okay, so what are the 4 terms? 6fg is the first term, minus 2fh second term, minus 3eg third term, plus eh fourth term. So in order to factorize 4 terms, so that's a technique that you have to learn. So we focus on the first 2 terms, and then we focus on the third and the fourth terms. Okay, so we focus on the first 2 terms first. We look at the first 2 terms, what are the common factors? So the common factors will be 2, 6 and 2, so 2, right? So we take out the 2, and then fg, fh, so we take out the f. Okay, then we factorize. So 6fg, we already took out 2, so here will be 3 and then g, right? And then minus, so 2f already taken out, so here will be just h. Okay, so now we focus on the third and the fourth term. So we put a minus here. Okay, 3eg and eh. We can take out the e. And then we factorize it. So we get 3g plus, minus, because minus minus plus, right? So minus h. Okay, so now we compare the first term and the second term. Now we have 2 terms. Okay, so what is the similarity? The common factors are this, the brackets, right? 3g minus h. So we're going to take out 3g minus h, 3g minus h, and then what's left? 2f and negative e. Okay, so let's look at the options. Oh, they write 2f minus e first. Okay, just swap it around, because for minus, you can swap it around, just like 3. Okay, you can write 2f minus e times with 3g minus h. Okay, so now let's look at the options. A, B, C, D. 2f minus e, 2f minus e, so this is incorrect, incorrect. And then next one is 3g minus h. So this is incorrect, this is correct. So the answer is D. Let's look at question number 9. So this question is based on linear inequality. So they give you the linear inequality is y more than or equal to 3x plus 6. So let me teach you a technique on how to answer this question in less than 10 seconds, okay? So you need to know a few things. Okay, what if let's say the line is going up from left to right, okay? So on the top side, so it will be more than or equal to if it's a solid line. Okay, if it's dotted line, there's no equal to, and the bottom is less than equal to, okay? So what if the line is going down from left to right? So this side is more than equal to, the bottom one is less than equal to, okay? So what if it's a horizontal line like this? So on top is more than equal to, the bottom is less than equal to, okay? If it's a vertical line like this, so this is more than equal to, on the left side is less than equal to, okay? So can see, So these are the axes. So just remember this, then you can solve the question very fast, Okay, so let's look at the question. This is more than or equal to. So which means that it must be a solid line, it cannot be dotted line. So which means that A is wrong because it's dotted line. And B also wrong because it's dotted line. Okay, let's look at C. Okay, C is solid line and D is solid line. But the question is, y more than or equal to 3x plus 6. So if it's more than, it means that it must be this region. Okay, this region. Because here is more than equals to, the bottom is less than equals to. So the answer is D. Let's look at question number 10. Diagram 4 shows a graph of function. State the value of x when y equals to 25. So y is equals to 25 is over here. So go to the graph. When it touches the graph, then go down. Then you will get the answer. Okay, so the answer is 2. A, B, C, D. Answer is B.